Now, the meeting is going to be conducted in two parts. The first part is going to be the meeting where it's going to be a and well as the audit committee of the department as well as that of the entity. After we have finished that first part of the meeting, then we will open the meeting to the department as well as to members of the public. Let me make use of this opportunity to welcome you, honorable members, on this meeting, as well as the members of the Auditor General, as well as the members of the Audit Committee. Before we may start with the engagement, let me allow the honorable members to introduce themselves, those that are present.
Afternoon, Deirdre Bartman, member of the committee.
Thank you very much, Honorable Bartman.
Matlodi Maseko, member of the Standing Committee.
Good afternoon, Regan Allen.
Thank you very much, Honorable
Good
Maseko and
afternoon,
Honorable
Chair.
Allen.
Derek America.
Thank you very much, Honorable America. Are those the only members? Then honorable members, in terms of the support staff in the background, we are ably assisted by the Senior Procedural Officer, Lizette Klute, as well as the Procedural Officer, Mr. Dustin Davids, as well as Mrs. Masintle Motsapi. Now, if there are no further introduction of members, let me make use of the opportunity then to hand over to the Auditor General, and thereafter we'll give to the Audit Committee. Now, before I do that, can I just ascertain Mr. Davids whether is the meeting in committee and it has been done as such in and other honorable members, we will give an opportunity to members of the public who are present, who might have joined us also online, to ask questions or seek points of clarity. And thereafter, we will close the meeting and then also resume as the committee to finalize the business of the committee. Now, in starting, I am going to hand over to the minister to hear if she is got some opening remarks, and thereafter I will give to the HOD.
Good afternoon, Honourable Mavimbi, Chairperson. Thank you for having me and our department this afternoon. I don't have any further opening remarks, and I can hand over to the HOD immediately if it's okay with you. Thank you so much.
No problem, Honourable Minister. HOD.
Thank you, Honourable Chairperson and members. Today, the senior management team of the department has joined this platform. I don't have anything specific to add except to say we are happy to note our 13th consecutive clean audit outcome, and we will gladly answer any of the questions that are put to us. Thank you.
Chairperson, your mic.
Oh, my apologies, I'm muted. The Chairperson of the Liquor Authority.
Chair and members, good afternoon, and to our own minister, again, welcome. We did say good morning this morning. On behalf of the Liquor Board, and more particularly on behalf of the management of the team, we welcome this opportunity to once again present a clean audit and a set of financials that are very positive and are very exciting because of the new opportunities that have been presented to the Liquor Authority. So, Chair, I think the details will be in the discussion, so I'll hand over to the CEO, Mr. Simeon George.
Mr. George. Is Mr. George not in the meeting?
Chairperson, I saw Mrs. George earlier in the meeting. It can be because he perhaps have connection issues. Oh, no, there's Mr. George in the meeting, Chair.
Yeah, Mr. Chair is in the meeting and he certainly is off mute. Perhaps Mr. Kwabe can comment in the meantime.
Can I speak? Chairperson, thank you very much. I'm using the CFO's device right now. Can I use this opportunity just to thank the Standing Committee for the opportunity as the Western Cape Liquor Authority for us to account in terms of the rules of governance pertaining to institutions like ours. We welcome this engagement and see this as the completion of a cycle that is very important for us to be reminded of what we have committed ourselves to and whether we measure up to what Parliament expects of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. George. Now, honorable members, I want us to go straight to the report, the annual report. You know, we are actually together with the Auditor General report that has been presented to us. We may first start with the Department of Community Safety report. And as you usually know that we are dealing with section C as well as section E of the report. I will first start with section C, and I would like to get an indication whether are there any honorable members who would like to ask questions on section C of the report of the community safety, as well as section C of the liquor authority. Let's deal with both the reports simultaneously. If there are no questions on section C of the report, I will move to section E of the report of both the department as well as the liquor authority. Are there any questions, honorable members? If there are no questions on that, honorable members, we are not going to waste time then. I am just going to give some of the questions I have, which are some of them I did ask to the Auditor General, and probably I would like to get the view of the department on them. Now, I know just maybe to the HOD this question, and maybe the acting minister, if he may be able to assist on, part of the reason that some of this report is being dealt with now during this time, as you know, that the time we normally deal with the annual report is around about between November, December, around about that time. Now, part of the reason we ended up having to move to January was because we were told that the department was not ready yet, not with its report. Can we get maybe an indication from the HOD what might have been the reason for the delays?
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson and members. As we were also asked this question when we were before the Standing Committee this morning, during the audit process, there was a finding by the AG in relation to the process we followed in terms of the awarding of a contract for EPWP outsourcing. The department did not agree with the AG's finding. The matter was then referred to National Treasury. This was as per agreement between both parties, ourselves and the AG, that we would ask National Treasury to consider the matter in which we were not in agreement. National Treasury then referred the matter to Provincial Treasury for the CPAC committee to then indicate as to whether we complied with the requirements. Now, prior to us putting out the advertisement for this particular contract, the department had extensively consulted with both legal services and Provincial Treasury, and we had followed the advice of Provincial Treasury. So when the matter was before the CPAC committee, they considered all our evidence, our documents, as well as they could confirm that we did in fact comply with the requirements. This information was then sent to the AG together with the minutes of the CPAC committee, and then the AG then found in our favor based on all the evidence and the input by the committee, and which resulted in the clean audit outcome. But due to this lengthy process and that dispute, we were then unable to finalize our annual report, and therefore the delay in tabling of the annual report and our financials to the Standing Committee and SCOPA.
Chairperson, you're on mute.
So thank you very much. That was quite mouthful. And rest assured that I did not form part of the meeting this morning. I just raised this conference. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, Chair.
Yes, Chair, we can hear you.
From my side. Lomzi? Kangjonge? Okay, no, thank you very much. Thank you very much, HOD, for that elaborated response. That was quite a mouthful. And rest assured that I did not consult with any of the members who attended the meeting this morning. That was just my own general curiosity. Honorable members, if there are no further questions on this one, that was really the only question I had from my side. Now, if there are no questions on the department, are there any question on the liquor authority? Now, if there are no further question, maybe let me just continue with the question I did ask from the AG as well.
Chairperson, you're on mute.
Dustin, procedural officer, I think our chairperson was just
Cut off, yeah.
kicked out due to his technology
Yes.
issues, he said, I think.
Yes. I'm just trying to get the chairperson online, members and minister and department. Apologies for this. Members, I'm just calling the chair quickly. Members, the chairperson will log in the next few seconds.
Apologies, members. I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes, Chair.
Loud and clear.
Okay, no, my apologies for that. It was just a slight problem with my internet here. So I was still saying that then if there were no questions on there are no further questions from members, I just wanted the question I did ask even in the AG, maybe it will be good to also get a view of the department on page 1.5, which is about funding. It says there that there was an overall under expenditure of 19.5, as well as if you look on the second paragraph, there was a shortfall. Maybe from the department's point of view, what might have been the cause of that on both paragraphs?
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I will hand over to the CFO to answer that question. Thank you.
Sorry, Chair, HOD, I'll be with you right now. In terms of the underspend.
CFO, apology. I think that question was directed to the Liquor Authority. Apologies. It would be the Liquor Authority Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you, HOD.
Good afternoon, members, and thank you for that question, Chairperson. The reason for the underspending for the Western Cape Liquor Authority is in relation to additional resources that we received quite late in the financial year. As you would know, the Liquor Authority usually struggles to obtain resources as part of the main budget. So what we try to do is to continue engaging with our stakeholders and partners to convince them to provide us with funding that we have a shortfall for during the financial year. And we're able to secure an amount of 9.1 million from the department in relation to one of our strategic priorities, which is the additional enforcement capacity. For the project, it took us quite a few months from the time we got the approval for the funding to get it going, which is why we needed it to roll over to the new financial year for implementation. That's how we've been able to make strategic strides, Chairperson, with regards to the entity, because when able to secure the budget at the beginning of the financial year, we secure it a bit late, which then requires a rollover to the new financial year to enable us to implement in the new year. I hope that suffices the answer, Chairperson. Thanks.
Thank you very much. That's very helpful, CFO. That was a mouthful. Honorable members, any further questions? If there are no further questions, honorable members, let me make use of the opportunity then to allow members of the public, if there are any members of the public, Mr. Davids, that have indicated that they would like to ask questions or they would like to seek points of clarity or make comments on the annual report of both the department as well as the entity. Any members of the public?
Honorable Chairperson, yes, there was an indication of a member of the public joining, but they indicated that they will follow the meeting via YouTube, Ms. Shana, but there was no questions from any members of the public in respect of this meeting, Chair.
Okay, no, that's interesting. It's only department so far I've heard that any member of the public was even willing to was able to show any interest or no. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Davids. Minister, do you want to say any closing remarks?
No, thank you. Nothing from my side, Honorable Mavimbi. Thank you.
HOD?
Nothing specific to add from my side as well, Chairperson. We just grateful to the for the opportunity to come before the committee.
Thank you very much. The AG, any remarks that you'd like to make?
Chairperson, thank you. No further comments from our side.
Thank you very much. The Audit Committee of the department?
No further comments. Thank you, Chair.
Audit Committee of the Liquor Authority?
Nothing further from our side. Thank you, Chairperson.
Chairperson, Liquor Authority?
Nothing further from our side. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, also from the Chair from the Liquor Board, nothing further to add other than to thank you for an efficient meeting, and we look forward to the next year's engagement.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Let me make use of the opportunity, honorable members, to thank the department led by the Minister, as well as the HOD, as well as the liquor authorities led by the Chairperson and the CEO. Thank you very much for availing yourself to come and account on the activities of the year. Thank you so much. Now you can be excused now so that we can continue with the other business of the committee.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thanks.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Chair.
Honorable members, any resolutions? If there are no proposal for resolution, honorable members, let me make use of the opportunity to thank you very much for availing yourself and being part of the meeting. I just want to get an indication, Mr. Davids, our next meeting is going to be on Thursday now.
Chairperson, it will be tomorrow, Chair. Yes, it will be tomorrow, 2 o'clock, with the Department of Human Settlements. And then on Thursday, it will also be 2 o'clock with Provincial Treasury and the Western Cape Gambling and Racing Board, Chair. And once this meeting is done, I will email all the members those briefing notes and PDF annual report, Chairperson, via WhatsApp and via email.
Thank you very much, honorable members. The meeting is adjourned. We'll see each other tomorrow at 2.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Thank you, members.